Hare Krishna. Apare amitastu anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jaga. Beside this inferior nature of mighty I am Arjuna, there is superior energy of mind, which are all the living entities which are struggling in the material nature and are sustaining the universe. Sustaining the universe. Jiva. Now Krishna has said something now very interesting. He is saying, he explained in the last verse about 8 energies. What are the 8 energies explained? Bhumi, Apo, Anolo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Evacha, Ahankara, Ityam में भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टधा. ठीक है? Earth, water, fire, ether, and mind, intelligence, and false ego. Modern science does not even know mind exists. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are the subtle energies not known to modern science. They just plain Panchbhutas. And within the Panchabhutas, sense objects and senses are there. So that's what Prabhupada says. That's all they know, full stop. Nothing more. Beyond even mind, just imagine. If you are going to wait for the science to figure it out, wait for 1 trillion years. Because they have not been able to even figure out what the mind is there. Because they think mind is some neurons firing. That is the limitation of Pratyaksh Pramayana. You cannot go more. The process is wrong. This is not the way to know knowledge. If you want to know anything, you have to go to person who knows. You don't sit and speculate at home. You don't become doctor sitting speculating at home. Correct? You go to place who teaches medicine. I'm telling you the principle. The same way, if you want to know, tadvidhi pranipatena, go take shelter of an acharya. That is their mistake. Their pride did not allow them to bow down to an acharya. Therefore, they never learn. Correct? How are we more intelligent than them? How we have come to know about mind and soul and God? Are we very special? No. We just followed the right process. What is the right process? Tadvidhi pranipatana. If you want to know, bow down to an acharya. That mistake they did. They didn't bow down. It's not easy to bow down. Correct? You have to be humble. You have to become humble. Tadvidhi pranipatena. Bow down to an acharya. Pariprashnena. If you are not able to understand what he is saying, you can always ask question. It's not blind. It's very reasonable. But you have to hear first. That requires respect. That all we did was we heard with respect. Somehow out of good fortune. And our spiritual life started. Somehow maybe some sukriti. That Shraddha also requires some sukriti. It's not magic. Nothing happens of magic. Not magically, accidentally we heard. Correct? Some sukriti was there. We took Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna is saying, we accepted out of some respect. Pranipatena, pariprashnena. You can ask your questions. Prabhuji, I read Bhagavad Gita, but or that day I heard one class, I did not understand that. I have one question. And then offer service. Third thing. Correct? There is no transaction in this business transaction. There is service. Can I do some service? In fact, that day we know person is beginning his spiritual life. When he comes to temple, from some service is there. That is the mark. He is healthy in spiritual life. Correct? What is the mark of a healthy man? Some service is there. He will be very happy. That is the mark of a healthy spiritual life. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Because what we can give to Prabhupada? We can give little service. Prabhupada said you cannot repay. You cannot repay. Even if you want, you cannot repay. True? But some service I can give. That's very pleasing. Only exist in the spiritual life is love and gratitude. And that is the spirit, Vaikuntha world. So now, in that spiritual realm, the spiritual knowledge will be manifest in the heart. It's with great pleasure. It's not a knowledge you can capture, snatch, pull from somebody's hand. It is not a knowledge like that. In a beautiful Vaikuntha atmosphere, the knowledge is non-different from Krishna. It descends in your heart. Just like Krishna descends in the heart. And Bhagavatam, it is said, very, 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 very interesting thing. It is said, when Krishna appeared, first he appeared in the heart of Vasudeva. Then he appeared in the heart of Devaki. Krishna did not appear in the way we all appear. Be. Okay. If you say Krishna, you have to first go, what is Krishna? You have to go to Shastra only, because none of us have seen him. From Shastra we come to know. Shastra also explain how he appeared in the world. Therefore Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. Every activity, including birth of the Lord, is transcendental. We don't take birth like this. We appeared in the heart of Vasudeva, then Devaki. Then Krishna stood out in front of them, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma holding, with all hairs and mukuta, in the prison wall where he appeared, with all effulgent, with jewelry, dress. So that is how Krishna appears. So Prabhupada says in the comment on that, because that is, Prabhupada did first early portion of Bhagavatam. That portion Prabhupada has done. First 4-5 chapters Prabhupada did. So in that 10th canto, if you read that portion, Prabhupada says, the description, this is called Diksha. From the heart of Vasudeva, Krishna came to the heart of Devaki. This is Diksha. So similarly, but what kind of atmosphere it requires? It requires beautiful spiritual atmosphere. Correct? Krishna will not descend. Just like temple, we try to keep it clean. We have nice dealing between devotees. We respect all visitors coming. In that atmosphere, when Krishna is becoming worshipped, Ananda comes. That means Krishna is manifesting his presence. Correct? What do you say? You are having a kirtan, all devotees respect each other. Very respectfully, das, anudasa, in that mood you are doing kirtan. We feel so much spiritual ecstasy. Krishna is descending. That is not different from Krishna. So similarly, realized knowledge. I am not talking theoretical knowledge. There is lot of difference between theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge. Just like college में बहुत लोग पढ़े हैं. One word we don't remember. I don't know. You remember? I don't remember one word. You remember? He also doesn't. You remember? But he can't say that. Otherwise he cannot practice. Now, what you remember is realizations. Realizations you remember. Other thing, knowledge, you may forget. But realizations you never forget. It is, lifelong awakening. True? Therefore, Krishna also says, next life also you will continue realizations. Realizations will not go away. Even next life they will stay with you. But knowledge, you learned how this mic is made up of, you studied for course and you gave marks and you forget. After you gave exam, we come back, room 90% is forgotten that time only. After 1 or 2 years, we ask even one line you don't remember. Oh, that is there. Huh? That is the difference in knowledge. So we are asking for realization, when realizations comes in a proper atmosphere, because it is not less than, not different from Krishna. You got it? So realization, somebody went to Krishna, Prabhupada, Acharya. He said, can you show me God? Prabhupada said, you need qualification for everything. Don't you think you need qualification to see God? Now, can I see the Prime Minister like this? If I am qualified, definitely. If I am President of America, I can see him in 1 minute. I can even talk to him hotline immediately. But otherwise, I may not be able to meet him also. You require qualification to see God face to face and talk to him. But people think no. So now there is something very interesting in the shloka. So this is clear. So this realization, the knowledge descends. So we somehow, out of good fortune, and Prabhupada created fortune for us, out of good fortune, what we do? We just respectfully heard. That's all you need in Kali Yuga. It is not possible in Kali Yuga to go to the forest and do all that nonsense meditation. Will not work. It's all stories which does not work. Krite adhyayate Vishnu tetami jito makhe dwapare parichaya kalodha hari kirtanat. Kali Yuga is only Harinama. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Everybody knows this shloka. Kalo? So anybody teaching meditation, tell him first answer this. 3 times it is said only do this, 3 times it is said don't try anything else. Correct? 3 times. So 3 times it is said do this, 3 times don't do this. Just like it is said in Talak, somebody said Talak 3 times, will be arrested. So anybody who teaches anything other than Harinama should also be arrested, because it is cheating society. What do you say? He should also be arrested. 3 years jail. 3 years they proposed. He is misleading the society. It's very simple. But actually, we are really fortunate. It is said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just like in ocean there are sharks and you are saved. Kali Yuga is an ocean of sharks. Sharks are these nonsense philosophies. Some exercise of nose. People think it is spiritual. And some people, something can't even talk. So all those things are actually like sharks. which will swallow an unsincere soul. And Kali Yuga, we are not very sincere. So we feel very unfortunate, very helpless when people are getting misled. What to do? But true, one sense, cheated and the cheated are being combined by the Lord. Other sense, we feel innocent man could have been protected, could have been rightfully guided. Correct? Suppose somebody goes at 10 rupees to purchase in the market gold, he'll be cheated. We know he'll be cheated by somebody because 10 rupees there is no gold in market. Somebody know what, he doesn't know anything. Better take his 10 rupees, give them stone and send him off. True? But we feel bad when somebody is cheated. Can we protect him? That is the outlook we try to preach. And the Prabhupada has given so many things in this purport. So the first thing Prabhupada says here in this purport is that the soul is an energy. This is first thing. 8 things are there. Out of the 8, anybody studying modern textbook doesn't know about top 3. Mind, intelligence, false ego is not there. Does not exist in medical science. Correct? Therefore, if you get depression, they give you a tablet. A tablet ends with the brain. Nothing to do with mind. Forget the soul. Therefore, the antidepressants have failed. The countries with the highest number of antidepressants, the highest number of suicides also. Japan and America. Highest number of suicides. At least we take America. Highest number of suicides in the world. One of the highest. With the highest medical science developed. Correct? All antidepressants are available and people eat them like you eat chocolates. And why suicide rate is so high? Every second man goes to a psychiatrist. I was thinking various reasons. One of the reasons is the family is very unsettled there. There is no home to go to. Chalo. Now let us come back to what Krishna is saying. He is saying, therefore, the 5 are known. Okay, earth, water, fire, ether. I explained what it actually means. Mind, intelligence, false ego is the subtle, which is not known. Krishna is saying, apara. Apara means lower. This is all lower. This is 8. Apara itas tu anya. Beyond this 8, anya, there is another. Apara stays to anyam prakriti viddhi me param. There is one my higher energy. I told you about 8. Now I'll tell you something a little higher energy. But it is my prakriti. Prakriti means energy. And Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo. That is the Jiva. Now interesting thing. It's energy of the Lord. Prabhupada says in the purport one very interesting line. Jiva has no independent existence. Now this is the second place I am reading. It is there in 6th chapter also. Just mark this word. Jiva has no independent existence. Just like fire is there. Can you say the heat has any independent existence without the fire? Can the heat say I am existing without fire? It's a nonsense it is. Heat can only exist if fire is there. It's true. Because heat is the energy of the fire. Can the heat exist independent of the fire? So you as Jiva cannot exist independent of the Lord. Just like heat and light are 2 energies of fire, so material and spiritual are 2 energies of fire. Material energy is also Krishna's energy, and spiritual energy is also Krishna's. Correct? Heat and light are 2 energies of fire. When fire is there, 2 things will come out, heat and light. True? Yes. So you can say light as spiritual energy and heat as material energy. Just for an example's sake. Can they both exist independent of the fire? Another question I'll answer. Some people say, when did soul came into being? Okay, God. When did God create soul? Another foolish question. When you light fire, is it that after 5 minutes light comes and after 10 minutes heat comes? It is together. So with the Lord, His energies are eternally existing. You cannot say, what is the date of my creation? Sometimes that question comes. What date I came out of God? Because in this world, everything is like that. The matter has Shadvikara. It comes into being, it grows, it stays for some time, it produces a byproduct, it dwindles and dies. Just like all of us. We came into being at a particular date. We all have date of birth. Then we grew we have been growing. And now some of us are on this stage. And then are producing byproduct. And then our body is slowly degrading. And then we have death. Correct? So we put this on spirit also. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put right things in different places. Don't project matter on spirit. Or don't project matter on God. Don't project spirit also on God. Correct? It's a totally different thing. So Jiva Bhuta Mahabhaho, this living entity is energy of the Lord. It is eternally existing and it has no independent existence. If you now just realize this point, I am an energy of Krishna, only thing you'll do is devotion service. Because you are having a wrong identification, that I am matter, we are engaged in sense gratification. I am part of this world. Therefore, we say I am Kannadiga, I am Konkani, I am GSB, I am Bunt, I am whatever community. Correct? Why? Because I am thinking I am part of this world. I am not. I am a visitor here. You understanding? The spirit has nothing to do with this world. Spirit does not belong to this world. It belongs to the spiritual world. And it is engaged in Krishna's service there. It comes to this world with the illegitimate demand. Therefore, Krishna creates illusion in which it can satisfy that demand. It gets the body, which is think it is his body. It gets a mind, it identifies with that mind. Correct? Which is even more difficult to separate. You can separate your body from yourself. You can understand this now cushion is there. My consciousness does not spread there. Actually, this body and the cushion, there is no difference. You know that? Both are dead. Both are dead. Body is also dead, cushion is also dead. But somehow I identify this cushion as outside of me and the body as inside of me. But actually this body and a cushion, there is not much difference. Both are dead. Is there any difference? So it's an illusion which makes you identify with the structure which is around me. Actually I have nothing to do with this. So if you identify here, Krishna is saying, just repeat this again and again. I am the spiritual energy of Krishna, I am the spiritual energy of Krishna, I am the spiritual energy of Krishna. You disidentify with the body. I have nothing to do with this body. I am not a product of material energy. I belong. I am an energy of the Supreme Lord. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Dharete Jagat. And also we can understand, because of the living entities, this world is functioning. Just like Prabhupada landed in America, he told, you people all are visitors. They said it's the country of immigrants. You came from different parts of the world. And before you all came, this place was not so well developed. You all work hard and you made this country so rich and prosperous. Okay, it was not a rich and prosperous country before. I think as far as some tribals were there running around whole America before Europeans landed up. Red Indians were there. True, they tortured them, killed them, but whatever it is, for an example's sake, it is another issue now, they developed that country. So living entities can develop a place. But it is not possible. If you leave matter like as it is, like this room you leave as it is, it cannot be developed. Develop any place, it requires a living entity. So Yayedam Dharete Jagat. It's the living entities who develop a place. Okay? That's what is clear. Now whenever we see material energy, we always see there is a controller. Now we have, say, a car. We always know there is a driver. Okay? Any material energy. So Prabhupada says it should occur to us when you see this gigantic cosmos. We're seeing a huge cosmos in front of us. Who is the controller? There should be a question. First we accept there is a controller. The details will be next chapter. Correct? Nobody is teaching this, unfortunately. Nobody is teaching this. In fact, many people, even small people, I think even Rajnikant, he gives a class on this. God exists, you heard it? And he's not very educated person. But he gave a class on this. How it is possible. And it's actually very reasonable. It doesn't require rocket science, Very reasonable to accept that when I see the material energy, when I see anything in this world, whenever I see energy, energy always requires a controller. Energy is meaningless without a controller, isn't it? It is meaningless without controller. It is dangerous rather without a controller. Therefore, they are worried if you leave robots on the city with much gun, which they are planning, and any time the software may, it has no feeling, no sentiment, no controller. It will be crazy. Anything requires a controller. The same way, the question should be, who's the controller behind this huge cosmos? Suppose I enter a university, I see the place is clean, there is an attendant sitting in a place, he is taking, they take the vehicle number when you enter nowadays, and then you go inside, somebody, reception is there, there is, bell is ringing in time, things are going on, there is a management here. Otherwise, how things can go on? Similarly, we see the seasons happening in a sequence, one after another. And then we see that there are rains are coming, rains will be coming after a few months. Correct? Is it happening? If the rains don't come 1 year, no, things are going in sequence. So when we see order, when we see so many cycles, so many arrangements, so many relationships with different things, immediately the question comes, who is the controller? Which is reasonable. It's not a blind faith, it is reasonable to accept there is a controller. So the living entities are small controllers, and the Lord is the supreme controller. Now something very interesting Krishna Prabhupada says, we'll end with that. He says, Jiva has been said as Prakriti and not as Purusha. This is a beautiful thing. Purusha means enjoyer. Prakriti means enjoyed. All of us are trying to be enjoyed. That's the Mayavada philosophy. Prabhupada catches that's the Mayavada philosophy. Mayavada philosophy means it's a wrong interpretation of the Vedas. So we are all enjoyers. We are actually God. I forgot actually I'm God. So what kind of God are you? If you forget your God, that means the forgetting power is greater than you. That is God. They say, actually I'm God, I forgot. Who made you forget? Maya made you forget. So Maya is God, not you. That is, it is more powerful than you who are a so-called God. So actually we are not Purushas, we are not God. There is only one Purusha. Very interesting thing happened once. Who went to Vrindavan to meet Rupa Goswami? Purusha Prakriti discussion. Mirabai was a famous devotee of Krishna. And when she wanted to meet Rupa Goswami, because Rupa Goswami is a very exalted disciple of Lord Chaitanya. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. He is Dadati. So he established a mission of Lord Chaitanya. After Lord Chaitanya left, he took over the reins of his movement. Very exalted personality, Rupa Manjari. So Rupa Goswami, she wanted to meet. And Rupa Goswami is an example of a renounced personality, sannyasi. So she came and said, I want to talk to Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami said, I don't meet any woman. Sannyasi. So she asked, I heard in Vrindavan, there is only one Purusha. So the messenger came, Mirabai is saying, there is Vrindavan only one Purusha. He said, okay, send her in. You understand? Actually, there is only one enjoyer, Krishna. Rest are Ekala Ishvara Krishna. Everybody is a servant. There is only one enjoyer, one controller, Krishna. Rest all are servants. And we are here, why? We revolted against this truth. Why he should be enjoyed? I'll enjoy. Okay. Krishna said, I'll make you enjoy. But how you make you enjoy? Switch off lights. Because in light you cannot be enjoyed. Only in illusion you can be enjoyed. Switch off light. Correct? Suppose you want to be, say, I am the President of America. You dream now. What we have to do? We have to switch off light. Because in reality it's not true. In darkness you can think I'm president and jump around. Maybe some fools you can collect. You should not read any newspaper, you should not open TV, nothing, because it will show the truth is not true. Something else is the truth. So we have to create darkness so that he can be in that nasha. I am become president of America. So same way we want illegitimate desire that I want to be the enjoyer. But Prabhupada is saying Jiva is not enjoyer. Jiva is Prakriti. Krishna has said here it's a Prakriti. Prakriti means enjoyed, not enjoyer. This is not acceptable because of pride will not allow you to accept. Actually we are not enjoyer. We are Prakriti. We think we are creator and enjoyer, but we are created and enjoyed. We are energy. Energy is for the pleasure of the person who owns it. Just like I have the specs. Correct? Suppose you take it away and say, no, please give me. It is mine. It is my energy. I will enjoy it. True? True or not? Suppose a car is there. Somebody says, I'll take your car. No. It's my car. It's my energy, my property. I am the enjoyer.